TWM podcast.
Matty Deller, and welcome to the first episode of Anything But Wrestling. Before we get into the interview at hand, let's run for the admin and get it out of the way first. This is a TWM podcast, bringing you news, reviews, and in this case, interviews, 6 days a week, available in all the usual places: Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, Deezer, Podchaser, all the places you can find podcasts, you can go get them. And on YouTube, if you're listening right now, please subscribe, smash that like button, turn on notifications. If you found us in the little search thing, we're trying to get up to 100 subscribers so we can get that sexy custom URL. So please go and get yourself involved there. We're brought to you by Wheel of Sport, fantastic app that bring you the latest WWE pay-per-views in bar and pub form. You can go book front row seats there. Obviously not at the current time, we're all stuck inside, but when we're outside, download the app on the Apple and Google Play Store. Get it in there now. So then when everything's back to normal, you're scrolling through and going, oh yeah, I want to go watch SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. Boom, booked, job done. And in the meantime, they're doing loads of great stuff over on the website, wheelofsport.co, and at Wheel of Sport UK on their social media platforms. Still going strong is WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.co.uk. Use the code TWM Wrestling for up to 3 free items if you stay for up to 3 months. Simple as in the checkout, TWM Wrestling at WrestleCrate.co.uk. Enough of the admin, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get into episode 1 of Anything But Wrestling with Millie McKenzie. Hello, and this is the debut episode of Anything But Wrestling, so allow me to explain what this is all about. This is where we talk to some of our and your favourite wrestlers, because, let's be honest, at the current time, we're all bored, they're all bored, we're stuck inside. So let's talk about something a little bit different. It could be music, films, life, TV, anything, just nothing inside those 4 ropes. And I think I've got a fantastic first guest on the debut episode of Anything But Wrestling. Joining me today is someone who is a stalwart of modern British independent wrestling. She's wrestled in the UK, Ireland, Japan, and probably loads of other places I haven't mentioned. I've also seen her wrestle dressed as the Grinch, which was a thing that happened. But joining me is Millie McKenzie. Thank you so much for joining me on Anything But Wrestling.
Thank you for having me.
This should be fun. But I think the first question we should be asking anyone is, how are you coping with the current situation? How are you coping with lockdown? How are you finding it yourself?
I'm all right, thank you. Obviously, it's not ideal, but I'm enjoying the time off. It's nice to have some time to myself. I moved into my own flat last year, so I've got a chance to decorate it all. So yeah, I'm enjoying it really. Yeah,
I can imagine, as much as obviously it's a big kind of a financial issue and stuff for a lot of people that are off at the moment. I imagine if you're doing a job that's so labour intensive that you are probably enjoying enjoying kind of that extended time off. And I am liking the fact I know a lot of people have been, when I've been asking what they've been up to, they're like, yeah, no, I'm just getting the house sorted, doing some doing some decorating and stuff. How's that going? Have you just started? Are you about halfway through?
I've done most of it now. I've got to tile the bathroom next, and I'm a bit scared about that one because that's a kind of job that I'm definitely not going to do very well, but hopefully it goes okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the first thing about tiling anything, let alone doing the whole bathroom. I can just about barely paint a wall without asking someone for help. But other than kind of decorating, other than kind of the general home improvement that you are up to, what other stuff have you been doing to kind of keep yourself busy, keep yourself sane during these rather unique times?
There's this big park. Well, it's not a park, it's just these 2 lake things near me, and I go around there and feed the ducklings because they've all hatched now. And I walk around there. I saw a fox yesterday. There's 3 herons as well. I'm such a weirdo. I'll just try and find them.
That's pretty...
I want to be friends with them. So yeah, I just try and find them.
I love that. That's awesome. Just imagining you there may be something we could look into, a nature documentary with Millie McKenzie. Yeah. Just going around, looking around, going, ducks. There's the heron over there.
And that's a crazy old woman that just follows these birds around.
just walking around with the bread, just going to every single person. No, it's really, really cool. Like, I envy anyone who's got like a massive park or massive thing near them. I'm in kind of a bit of a built-up area, so I've kind of realised that I'm more than okay with being inside. I've joked to several people, but I'm being half serious that I think I've realised that I'm like shockingly comfortable with being a recluse and not being outside. And I'm like, if I disappear into the woods, just let you know that I'm fine. I'm fairly certain that I'm okay with the whole recluse thing. A lot of people have been kind of just like, if they're not going out and about, they've been kind of binge watching stuff. I have, in particular, have kind of fallen into the wormhole of watching several things on Netflix and going through. I think the first few weeks I just binge watched all the Simpsons on Disney Plus. Have you been watching anything in particular?
I've just rewatched Hannibal on Netflix, and it's my favourite series ever, and I loved it. And watching it again, it was just as good. But I try not to watch too much telly because I just get lazier and lazier and lazier, and I need a structure. So I try not to watch telly until the evening, around like 7, maybe 9, around that time, and then I'll go to bed at 11. So I try not to watch too much because I'll just become obese, and that's no good for me. I should really be watching stuff. So like the amount of time, because in my real job, that obviously I'm working from home at the moment, it involves me just sitting in front of my computer, and I do need to be like, probably shouldn't be sitting there watching TV and then going back up and then watching more TV. And all that, but I need to probably work on it and probably actually go outside a bit more, other than like the 10 minutes I do walking my dogs. But you said like you seem to be a bit of an animal lover yourself. Like, you was going to ask again, but actually I'm going to ask it now. What's your top 3 animals? Top 3 favourite animals? I love frogs. I don't know why, I've always loved frogs.
That's a plot twist. Did not see that one coming in the top 3.
I like fish as well. I'm literally a weirdo. And manatees.
You seem to be a very kind of like a very strange is not the word I was going for. Like, you seem to be very into kind of like the water side, the wetland, sea, ocean kind of thing. That seems to be kind of very much very much your thing.
Yeah, there's like a canal near me. And when I used to walk to the gym every day, it's like 1.5 miles there. So 3 miles all around trip, and I'll walk down the canal. So I like look in the canal and see the fish in that every day, and then I walk around the lake. So I've always kind of been walking and going to see nature anyway. Yeah.
So that is like, would you say like maybe like one of your things you'd love to do is like one of those things, maybe like go and see dolphins or go on one of those boats to go out to see all like the sea life and stuff like that? Is that something that you would really like to do?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about swimming with dolphins because I think, I don't know, that's a bit scary and I feel sorry for them, but maybe like I went to sea life when I was in Australia and I got to like feed the stingrays, so that was really cool.
That's
and I love doing things like that.
Yeah. I appreciate someone with a love of a sea life centre. I'm fairly certain anytime I go to any seaside resort, it could be with friends, it could be with my with my girlfriend, I'm like, we have to go to the sea life centre. It's kind of a rule. You always go to the sea life centre. No matter what. I think the amount of times I've been to Brighton, I think I've been to that sea life centre, I think 5 times.
I've been there.
It's a good one. It's a pretty good sea life centre. They've got the massive turtle, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's just the most relatable turtle of all time. They just, when they he just lays around and eats a lot, and I'm like, I can relate to that turtle. I've kind of, everyone kind of sees everyone on social media, and I know on Twitter there's been people talking and videos of your unique way of eating forms of food.
God.
Like, while you've been inside, is there any kind of new food concoctions that you've kind of invented while you've been inside?
Well, I keep on having smoothies at the moment, but they literally look like sick. It's disgusting, but they taste all right. But they're always like this brown colour, and I don't know why they come out brown. But yeah, they don't look very pleasant. But I haven't really been eating that many interesting things, really. Just chocolate crisps and the normal.
I did love, I think one of them was there was a video, I think you were eating, it might have been like some sort of like smooth like mousse or yogurt, and you decided to use like a train ticket as a spoon.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I didn't have a spoon, so I just folded up my train ticket.
It's a very, very Bear Grylls mindset of like, I'm using the tools around me.
Yeah, I thought it was smart because I'd have had to use my finger otherwise. So,
yeah.
Well, obviously not smart, but the best I could do.
Not smart, best I could do with the situation. Yeah, like, also, I love that. Like, I don't think you could sell smoothies on that. Millie McKenzie smoothies, it looks like sick, but it tastes good.
Yeah, no, they do taste nice, but yeah, maybe not on appearance.
You've done something, actually, that I've never done, but it's, like, on my bucket list, and that's go to Japan. Like, it's one of those things that I've, like, been trying to do for so many years, and money and circumstance have not really allowed me to do so. But when you're out there, what's like your favourite thing about going there? Like, what do you enjoy the most?
I like the food. There's this like place called Shabu Shabu, and it's like where you dip. It sounds disgusting, but you dip like meat and vegetables, like raw meat and veg, into this like boiling broth, and you choose what flavour of broth you want, and then you dip it in sauce, and it's just the most like basic idea ever, but it's the most beautiful thing, and they're always all you can eat. So there are always loads of them.
Yeah, like that sounds like the whole fondue thing, the like off of the 70s, like one of those things. That's no, like I've always really like been intrigued by it, because it seems like there's just everything seems to like they seem to have like these amazing quarters for different things. Like you'll have the technology street, and then you'll have like the anime street, and then you'll have the street with the weird stuff that that always gets mentioned on Reddit.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips, and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK, and check out welovesport.co.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk, and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
So, I think on that note, you can't really ask about Japan without kind of going down the ... because it's Japan route.
Yeah.
Like, what's like some of the weirdest things that you've seen when you've been over there?
We went to Miko told me and Charlie that we were going to a swimming baths, and we walked in, and it was just like a naked shower place. We typed in on because we had bikinis with us, obviously, because she said we were going swimming, and we put the bikinis on and typed into the translator, "Is this okay?" And she just said no.
Oh god!
So we had to take them off and walk into this place, and to be fair, I quite enjoyed it because it was so embarrassing. But I feel that I'm not scared to embarrass myself. But Charlie absolutely hated it, and watching her like so angry was so funny. It was making it worse. Oh my god, it was so funny. That
seems like a moment where it's just you're there, you've asked the question, and you just look at her going, we've gone far enough now. We can't go back.
Yeah, like we couldn't not do it. We had to do it. It was the best. And
I love the fact that shows kind of how good of a friend you and Charlie are, because Charlie Evans, of course, if anyone isn't aware, remember this is anything but wrestling, but we're just bringing that up. Is the fact that you can tell how good friends you are, because anyone who's a best friend finds it hilarious when there's a situation where their friend gets really annoyed.
Oh, she was angry.
Oh, that's great. Might as well just stick on the random route with stuff like this. I've just written down kind of a bunch of random questions. Weirdest thing you've ordered off the internet?
I have an obsession with like cleaning my ears. I'll clean my ears like 5 times a day maybe. And I ordered this ear pipe cleaner. And it's just like a bamboo pipe cleaner with like bristles on the end, and you twist it into your ear and then pull it out. Yeah, it's pretty weird. I don't know. I order loads of weird things. If I see something odd, I just buy it and then chuck it in the bin when I realise it's a scam. Because
and to take this is a compliment on my behalf, because you are very, very, from times that I've kind of seen you about various things, and obviously in the ring, but we're talking anything but wrestling. You are a very, very hilarious person, and you are a very unique person, and we kind of have very similar personalities and stuff like that. But straight away, and this might be generalising, but it does seem quite accurate, you seem the kind of person to me that a lot of people would drunk order weird stuff off the internet. I feel like you just do it because you're like, yeah, no, I want that. I don't know what that is. Like, have you ever trailed through like wish.com for all the weird stuff that they have?
Yeah, that's what I order off mostly now. But they like message me every hour and it's annoying. So I've deleted the app now, but I still have my account and check every so often. It's
like, have you tried these new bamboo pants? It's like, no. Like, why are people buying these things? Like, I've seen one of my friends on Instagram, like daily, will just be like, here's the weird things that Wish have recommended me on Facebook, and it'll just be stuff that no sane person is going to buy. Yeah, it's weird. Which is, yeah, Wish.com is a bizarre place for many, many things. Some general questions before we ask. I've got kind of 2 questions I'm going to ask everyone, but what music do you like listening to?
I literally have the most random taste in music ever. Like, it's so different. Like, I've always loved Bruno Mars from when I was younger, but now I don't really listen to him.
That makes so much sense now, because I would always hear you come out to Bruno Mars, and I'd be like, that's such a, like, offbeat choice for wrestling. Now it makes sense. So
I like Slipknot, my new favourite. I saw them at the start of this year.
Oh, so jealous.
Yeah, they were great. I like Mayday Parade as well. And My Chemical Romance, obviously. I was meant to see them the day after my birthday, but I can't now. But at least next year. So
that was the one in Milton Keynes, wasn't it? The big bowl show. I toyed with getting tickets several times. So that doesn't. From based off that, I imagine that you kind of were maybe were you kind of a bit of a like emo grunger when you were a little bit younger, or
no, like not at all.
Oh, okay.
I was never ever emo-y. I say normal, it's not normal. I'd listen to like One Direction, Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, and then as soon as I kind of got into wrestling, I hated all the like Slipknot and heavy stuff at first, and then I don't know what happened. But when I was around 17, I started listening to more heavier stuff, and then I really got into Slipknot, and so I listened to them ever since. Yeah,
I kind of got a weird one, because I'm still into like my pop music and stuff. I still love all that, and then I went to uni at 18 to 21, and got massively into like hip hop and dance and loved all that stuff, and I still to this day. But then the older I've got, I've just started like drifting into listening to emo and pop punk. Now I'm like, I've reached 30. It's almost as if I'm like trying to claw back being younger again. I'm like, I need to listen to the emo music that I should have listened to when my friends were. What's the best meal you can cook? What is like your... If you went on to like MasterChef and they said, what is your signature dish? What would you say it is?
I do a nice roast chicken.
Oh, nice.
Which is boring, but I have this, like, my nan she gives me loads of, like, kitchen contraptions that half of them I never use. And then she gave me this, like, clay pot to cook, I don't know what is it the habitat pot, I think it's called, to cook chickens in. And it's been sitting in the cupboard for ages, and I thought I'd try it. And I put it in the oven, and it was literally the nicest thing I've ever tried in my entire life. So now I just roast my chickens in there, cook some veg, and I don't like roast potatoes too much, so I always just have mash.
Oh, that's an interesting one. So what is your, like, I think that's a hot button question. That so is mashed your favourite type of potato?
Do you know what? I'm not that fond of potatoes.
Oh, like, a spicy take.
People love them, but I'm not that, like, I'm not really into carbs that much. Like, I don't like bread. I have pasta probably once every 2 weeks, but I just have rice and quinoa and couscous.
The one thing I've noticed, and this has happened a lot just from being kind of at home, because I don't find cereal that particularly filling. So if I'm at home, I'll end up having, like, toast for breakfast, and then it dawns on me that lunch is rolling around, and if there isn't enough, like, rice or pasta in the house, I'm like, I've got to have bread again. And I think it's got to the point recently where I'm like, if there's just bread in the house, I'm just not having lunch. I'm like, I can't be eating, like, 2 lots of bread a day and then potentially, like, more carbs later on. And I'm not exactly, like, the most health conscious man on the planet. I'm pretty sure that I binned off lunch yesterday to eat some mini cheddars and some, like, cola sweets. Just be like, that's lunch. That'll do me till 6 o'clock. I'm going to ask these are big 2 questions to round things off. What do you think is more likely to be real, aliens or ghosts?
I guess ghosts, as in spirits, are real. That's what I think.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't really know anything to I'd say ghosts.
Okay, interesting. And this one's going to be it depends whether you believe it or not. Favourite conspiracy theory?
I think all the, like, I'm not too into it. I don't really know enough knowledge. I don't have enough knowledge on the topic, but I'd say that all the, like, Pizzagate conspiracy with all the, like, people, like, some people in power just being, like, real weirdos with children and stuff and using those, like, codes in emails. I think that's interesting, but I don't really know enough about it to say.
Yeah, I know, because there's some people that are really, 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 really into it, and for me, there's, like, my favourite one is one that's so ridiculous that I'm like, part of me wants it to be true purely because it's the one where allegedly, and it's one that me and my little brother laugh about all the time because it's basically a meme as well, and it's the one where allegedly in the 80s, I think was it President Reagan in America killed off all the birds and replaced them with robots that have listening devices in them, so the higher powers could listen to people. And I'm like, that's so ridiculous that part of me wants it to be true.
What's the one where everything, like, logos change?
Oh, what, like Mandela theory? That one?
Yes, that's the one. That's quite interesting, I think.
That one's interesting because it is, like, really, really, like shockingly true. The amount of time I've been like, no, that was a thing then, and you read up and it's like, no, it wasn't. Like, it's wow, there's like, yeah, and also there's a load of, like, the good music ones where it's like, this person died 20 years ago and they were replaced by someone else, like the Paul McCartney and the Avril Lavigne. The Avril Lavigne one is, like, the one that just makes 0 sense, but it's like someone made an excuse for her music becoming not as good as it used to be. It's like, yeah, no, she died, and then they replaced her with someone else who wasn't as good, and I'm just like, that seems like an excuse more than a conspiracy theory. But yeah, that was a conversation that we just had about all that stuff. Thank you so much. I couldn't think of a better person to be on the debut episode of Anything But Wrestling. To wrap things up, feel free to promote social media, whatever you want to do. Tell us where people can keep contact with you.
Well, thank you for having me. Everyone always asks me my social media tags, and I literally still can't remember them. I think it's just Millie McKenzie 0. But if you type in Millie McKenzie, it should come up if you want to follow me. If not, No worries. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much, Millie, for being here. This was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.